What someone could wonder if they were to come across a man that is overly caught up with his mother is why he behaves in this way. He is a man, not a boy, so there's going to be no reason for his life to revolve around her. As this is the case, his life should come first, and his mother's should be of secondary importance. It could then be said that he just needs to draw the line and focus on his own life. If this person was to talk to him about this, and this could be a friend or a family member, they could say that his life is important and that he needs to be there for himself. This might not have much of an impact, though. Based on how he responds, it could be as if he has been criticized or encouraged to do something that is not right for him. If so, not only will he be living in a way that is not serving him, but he won't be able to acknowledge this. He will then continue to behave in the same way, and his life will continue to pass him by. At this point, it will be clear that something is not right, as he should be living his own life, not letting it pass him by. Now, this is not a value judgment, it is simply a fact. After all, he is on this earth to live his own life, not to act as though he is an extension of another. What this is likely to show is that although he looks like an adult, he doesn't feel like one. Nonetheless, this doesn't mean that he is consciously aware of the fact that he doesn't feel like an adult. The reason for this is that he is unlikely to have a strong connection with his emotional self. Consequently, his true feelings will typically be outside of his conscious awareness, and how he is behaving will generally be something that feels comfortable. If he was to change his behavior, he might soon come into contact with how he truly feels deep down. As he is now an adult and is no longer a child, it might seem strange as to why he wouldn't feel like an adult. This is likely to be a sign that, during his formative years, he missed out on the love that he needed in order to grow and develop in the right way. This would have prevented him from being able to go through each developmental stage. Naturally, as he feels like a boy deep down, his adult needs are largely going to be overlooked, with his developmental needs taking precedence. One way for someone to understand what is going on would be for them to imagine that they are hungry, but instead of having a full-course meal, they just have a starter. Once the meal is over, as they will still be hungry, they won't be able to truly focus on anything else. In the same way, the man's childhood will be over, but as he didn't receive what he needed, he won't be able to truly focus on his adult life. Deep down, his unmet developmental needs will cause him to behave in a way that will hopefully allow him to receive what he missed out on all those years ago. On one level, then, will be someone that looks like an adult, and on another level, will be someone that looks like a boy and is waiting for his mother to finally love him. The trouble is that as this stage of his life is now over, it is too late for him to receive what he missed out on. Also, the underdeveloped parts of him won't want to be loved by his current mother. They want to be loved by the version of his mother that no longer exists. With this in mind, he could focus on her for millions of years, and it still wouldn't allow him to receive what he missed out on. As to why he didn't receive what he needed, it is likely to show that his mother used him to meet some of her adult and unmet developmental needs. The roles were then reversed, and he had to be an adult before he was able to be a child. his developmental needs and the pain that he experienced would have ended up being repressed by his brain. The outcome of this is that he would have developed a disconnected false self that would have encapsulated his underdeveloped true self. If he had entered the world in a fully developed state, it wouldn't have mattered that his mother was unable to provide him with what he needed. But as he didn't, it is to be expected that he was unable to truly move on from his developmental years. Therefore, there is nothing inherently wrong with him, and he is not weak, for instance. He is simply unconsciously doing what he can to avoid the pain that he experienced all those years ago, and to receive what a big part of him desperately needs: his mother's love. Facing the pain that he had to repress all those years ago and experiencing his unmet developmental needs will be a key part of what will allow him to gradually outgrow this stage of his life. So if you can relate to this and you can see that you were unable to outgrow this stage of your life, then it will most likely be due to the fact that you didn't receive what you needed, and as you didn't receive what you needed, you were unable to move forward. Instead, you would have just been traumatized and ended up shutting down and creating a disconnected false self that will have imprisoned and dominated your underdeveloped true self for so long. And for you to move beyond this stage of your life, as I've said, you will most likely have a lot of pain to work through and unmet developmental needs to experience. And this is something that will take time. It won't take place overnight. So if you are not working through your pain and experiencing your unmet developmental needs already, then the sooner you engage in this process, the sooner you will be able to move forward and to truly put this stage of your life behind you. And to do this, you may need to reach out for external support. But the main thing is that you don't suffer in silence, and do what you need to do to gradually change your life. If you would like to find out more about the services that I offer, please go to www.oliverjrcooper.co.uk or email me at info@oliverjrcooper.co.uk, and I'm looking forward to assisting you on your journey.